Greetings travelers, thank you for your interest in Galactic Fringe's Sabacc game night. I am CXG7, the human cyborg and public relations specialist for Galactic Fringes, a subsidiary of New Hope Creative Alliance, a 501c3, not-for-profit organization. The New Hope Creative Alliance and Galactic Fringes are a group of costume enthusiasts and science, fiction and fantasy lovers who have been inspired by events from a long time ago, in a galaxy far away, and hope to spread that inspiration and its messages of hope to those who may need it, but are not sure where to look. Participation in the game is open to any who wish to play, and though there is no financial obligation expected from players, please know that the organizers of this event have donated both time and resources to make it happen, and would welcome the consideration of any donation you feel is warranted. Any resources obtained above and beyond the costs of the event will be donated to a local charity called Unity Shop, which provides support for families in need. Now, for those of you who intend to play, Galactic Fringes has prepared a short tutorial video to help you learn or refresh your memory of how to play Sabacc. Sabacc is a game of chance and skill that has been played across the galaxy for ages. Though no one knows its true origins, it is believed to be a loose combination of two games from humankind's most distant past, poker and blackjack. Today, there are hundreds, if not thousands of variations on the rules, but we will focus on the set of rules that has emerged as the clear favorite, galaxy-wide. This rule set has two variations, in which the only differences are the size of the decks and the numeric values of the cards. Neither of these differences affect the rules of the game. The differences in the decks are as follows. The Royal Order Onion deck has 76 cards. In the deck there are 4 suits consisting of cards numbered +1 through +15, and 1 suit consisting of cards numbered 0, and the negative numbers 2, 8, 11, 13, 14, 15, and 17. The Corellian Spike deck has 62 cards. In the deck there are 3 suits of cards numbered 1 through 10, with each suit having red cards representing negative numbers and green cards representing positive numbers. There are also 2 black cards with a numeric value of 0. The goal of Sabacc, as with any game of chance, is to win as many credits as you can. In order to win the game, you must attempt to gather playing cards in the following types of hands, listed as follows from worst to best. A negative hand with a total value closest to 0 is the lowest winning hand. This hand wins the table pot only. A positive hand with a total value closest to 0 beats a negative. As long as the total value is closest to 0, this hand also wins only the table pot. When a player achieves a hand known as a Sabacc, for which the game is named, the player wins both the table pot and the Sabacc pot. A basic Sabacc is a hand with a total value of negative or +23. Again, please remember that a positive Sabacc hand always beats a -1. A pure Sabacc is a hand with a total value of 0. This hand beats both positive and negative basic Sabacc hands, and wins both the table pot and the Sabacc pot. The hand that beats all others is called the Idiot's Lay. This is a hand consisting of a minimum of 2 or maximum of 3 cards, whose numbers are 0, and 2, and 3, which when laid out, create the appearance of the number 23. This hand wins both the table pot and the Sabacc pot. In case of a tie, the hand with the most cards is the better hand. Bumming out occurs when any player ends the game with a hand that has a numeric value of more than +23 or less than -23. Bumming out incurs a penalty of 10% of a player's current credits that must be placed into the Sabacc pot. Here are the 6 simple steps to the actual gameplay of Sabacc. Step 1 is when players must pay the blind and tip the pot. This is more commonly known as the ante. There are 2 pots players can win from in Sabacc. The first is called the table pot. which is where a player pays the blind, and where all in-game betting happens, and the second is called the Sabacc pot, in which players keep the pot at the beginning of the game and pay any penalties at the end. Step 2 is the dealing of the cards. The dealer, a position which rotates from player to player after the completion of each game, deals 2 cards to each player, beginning with the player to their right. Subsequent gameplay occurs counterclockwise. Step 3 is the betting round. Players may bet as much or as little as they like, but must match the current bets on the table to stay in the game. Players may make an opening bet for the table or raise the current bet on the table. Please note that a player may only raise a bet a maximum of 3 times per betting round. Finally, a player may choose to check. Checking is where a player matches the current bet, but does not raise any further. At any time during the game, players may choose to fold. If the heat and pressure become too much for their hand, folding forfeits all of the credits previously bet. If a player runs out of credits and the table continues to bet, the player may remain in the game by declaring all in. A player that is all in may continue to play the rest of the game and retain their chance of winning the pots, but is exempt and excluded from the betting portions. Step 4 is the step when players can alter their hands. Players may choose one of the following actions. They may choose to stand. Players who stand keep the cards they have and draw no others. They may also choose to draw. This is when a player keeps their current cards and are dealt one more from the deck. Lastly, players may choose to discard one of their current cards, then are dealt a replacement. Please note, the number of cards in a player's hand may only increase or stay the same. It can never decrease. Step 5 is the stabilizing and randomizing part of the game. In this step, randomizing occurs as 2 6-sided dice are rolled. If the dice match upon landing, all the cards being physically held in a player's hand must be discarded and replaced from the deck. However, players may stabilize up to 2 cards from their hand by laying them face down on the table in front of them prior to the roll of the dice. If the dice roll lands without the dice matching, no change to the player's hand is required.
It's a match.
Steps 3 through 5 are repeated a total of 3 times. Please note, because of this, all players will have no less than 2 cards and no more than 5 cards in their hand in any game. Any deviation from this is considered cheating, and well, cheating is never tolerated at the Sabacc table. Step 6 is the final part of the game. After the last stabilizing and randomizing round, players may engage in one more round of betting, at the end of which, when all players check, all players must show their hands. The winner claims the pot or pots. If 2 players each have equal winning hands, a sudden death round is played between them, wherein they are each dealt 1 card face down. When the dealer says draw, they each flip the card. Whichever player has the hand with the closest to a total value of 0 wins. If the sudden death results in one or both players bumming out, the aforementioned bum up rules apply.
Pure Sabacc!
Thank you for watching this video. I do hope this tutorial proves helpful to you as you embark on your Sabacc adventure. May your odds of winning prove more favorable than the odds of Han Solo successfully wooing Princess Leia by awkwardly flirting while evading an Imperial Star Destroyer and attempting to survive an asteroid field aboard the Millennium Falcon. What a dreadfully foolish man.